session. Hmm. Now,
It's recording now.
yeah, you please start, Kunal. Yeah, thank you.
So, hi everyone. My name is Kunal, and so I'll just introduce brief introduction of myself. I'll give. So basically, I have some 6+ years of experience into the analytics field, and I am currently working as a business analyst in an MNC. And I'll today the session will be all regarding the experience what I have in all the 6+ years of experience and. What I have seen the different data sets and how to do operations on Excel. And it's just basically to make you all get familiar with what is Excel and how easily you can utilize it for your day-to-day work like that. And I would request that if you guys can give me a very basic intro of yourself, like what is the name and what is the experience if you're a fresher or something, and what is your proficiency regarding Excel on that. So that way I can understand and arrange my lecture accordingly for today. So if you just can start, anyone?
Hello,
Yes.
good morning. My name is Sebinas, and I'm having 1.8 months of experience, like in operations. So I know the basic of Excel.
Okay, fine. I mean, this is the first time you're using Excel. I mean, or
No,
before you have you.
previously I was using Excel, like in my workplace, but I want to learn like advanced Excel.
Got it. Makes sense. So yeah, Charan, if you can. Okay, so it seems that Charan will not be able to speak. Okay, makes sense. Sure. Okay, so I'll start off with the session for today. Okay, and uh, just a moment. Okay, so guys, so today's session will be a very basic intro to Excel, and in Excel, so basically for a person who handles data sets on a regular basis, right? So what happens is basically you are given a particular data set on a daily basis. Suppose you have a report to prepare, right? And it's a very raw data set you have been given. Now, first you have to understand that what is we have to do with that particular data, correct? And then comes the scenario that what is the business problem have been given to me. I mean, what is the business problem the company is basically solving, and how am I going to help the company with the help of like Excel and with the use of Excel, how can I solve the business problem, right? So so first the stage comes is the data collection part. So some of the companies you can understand that they rely on SQL databases where it's a very huge data and millions of rows, and on a very on daily basis millions of data transactions on these data sets are being captured, right? So and there are some of the companies where they solely rely on Excel only. So I have worked on some of the startups as well, where the whole data has been tracked in Excel. Okay, apart from there is a database, the transactional data or something, or a report basis, we have to do everything on an Excel. So the data collection parts obviously happens somewhere in Excel, and mostly you can talk about it. It happens in SQL, right? Now, next comes the very important part in data analytics industry, which is the cleaning and transforming of the data, and it's a very important aspect, to be precise, guys. I mean, you like everybody talks about the data. It looks like this. You download the data from Kaggle and all these things, but mind you, no data in the world is clean and up to the mark. You have to implement some of your skill set in cleaning the first in cleaning the data set first. When it comes to you have to check the rows, you have to check the columns properly. Then you can think, okay, now the data is very clean and I can start implementing my the operations on it, right? So in that cleaning and transforming aspect, you can see that Excel, then Python, then Power Query, all these kind of tools and features we have to implement, right? So after Excel, Python is the advanced form of tool, and Power Query is an additional form of Excel, which we can explore later on. And then comes the next part, which is the descriptive analytics. So understand, you have collected the data, you have done the cleaning part of Excel, and now you're coming to the descriptive analytics of the aspect, right? So what is the descriptive analytics of Excel? Is basically like what you can derive, what you can understand from the data, right? So in that descriptive analytics, you can see Excel, Power BI, Tableau, SQL, Python, all different forms of tools you can implement. Right. So in this particular aspect, as we are learning Excel, so we will also try to understand what kind of descriptive analytics or what the data tells us about about the whole data what we have captured. So we can implement some of Excel's features and try to understand through that. And then if you go to the advanced version of the scenarios, then you have predictive analytics. And for predictive analytics, you can utilize tools like Python and R and SAS or ML, and now the latest thing is Gen AI and all this stuff, right? So this is basically a brief intro of what the whole industry is all about. I mean, we can talk about the data analytics industry. They go with this kind of basic approach, okay? And you have different tools for different aspects of it, and you can do those things as per your understanding of it. I mean, if your company permits, you can utilize Excel, you can utilize Python, you can do SQL, anything. So it totally depends on you as well as the company's policies, right? Now, we'll slowly get into the topic of today, which is basically cleaning of the data set. Okay. So as I discussed that after collection of the data, suppose you have got the data, and then the biggest challenge what we face is basically to clean and transform the data. Otherwise, the data set is of no meaning to us. You cannot perform any meaningful task on it, right? So if we go inside the first sheet of Excel, as you can see that this is a basically subsheet of the whole workbook, right? This is a whole workbook, as you can see, and it talks about data cleaning demo, and inside it you have the data clean part of subsheet, and inside it the first sheet what you can look at it is basically a car sales data. Is a very basic kind of a data. But when you look at it, right, when you first look at the data, can you understand? I mean, can you just think of anything doing it? I mean, just have a look at the data, and can you think of doing any kind of operations on it? I mean, you have blanks, you have some merged rows kind of a thing and all that. So can you think of doing anything with this particular data? I mean, guys, if you can share some insights. Anyone?
First, we need to sort this data.
Yes, but if you want to sort it, how you want to sort it? I mean, suppose so you might have known that there is a mechanism as we can select the data, correct? And you can
Yes,
apply some filters. Okay, so
filters.
so filtering, applying filter is basically, you can see this is the ribbon part. On the topmost part of home tab, as you can go hover to the right hand side, you can see there is an option called as sort and filter. And if you just click on this particular filter button, you can apply the filter, correct? Now, after applying the filter, you can see all the data is reflecting. But suppose uh, you did not select the whole data. I mean, you just went over there and just applied that filter like this. That's all. What will happen? You just see, like, just the moment I selected the whole data, it took the whole data, right? But the moment I just went on to this particular column and applied the filter, it's just taking 3 data set. Correct. Why this has happened? Any thoughts, guys? Anyone? Lakshmi, Sevi.
Maybe based on the first column, it has taken filter.
Okay, so you're saying that you know with the help of first column we can do that, right? But you can see that first column, if I apply the filter, then also it is giving me only 2 rows of data. It's not helping me to apply the full data. I mean, it's not helping me to apply the full filter on the full data set. Why? Because now I'll tell you why the problem arises like this. So when you see the data set like this, you can see that there are blank rows over here and all these things. And then you have a total all of a sudden in the middle of the data. And then you have some rows here, right? So the moment you look at this data set, and of course, also when you see the header, also the header is on the right hand side and also in a single cell. It makes no sense for anybody to do any kind of operations on it, right? So the very foremost thing when you see a data set like this, try to understand what are the cleaning activities I need to perform so that it makes a meaningful data set. First, that's the first part. So you can see on the right hand side, I have made some points like no empty rows or columns, first of all. So the moment you come here, okay, you're selecting. So I'm just using the mouse. Okay, I'm just selecting the rows like this, right? And like that, if I just right click on it, right, you have a delete option on it. The moment you click on delete, you have another option called shift cells left, shift cells up, entire row or column. So I will go with shift cells up, right? Because I want to merge the data. I just want to remove that blank part, correct? So what I'll do, I'll do with the shift cells up, simple. Done. The data has been merged. The blank part has been removed. Similarly, again, there is another part where I have to do the same thing, right? Right click, delete, shift cells up and click on OK. Done. Now I can understand, okay, how the data is looking properly or not, correct? Okay, so now slowly I'll just try to see all the other aspects. I mean, you have another blank part over here, which makes no sense to us. So again, the same thing, we'll select the whole thing with the help of mouse, right? And right click on it and delete and check the shift cells up option and click on OK. Fine. Now another parts are like, if I scroll down, I can see that is there any kind of merge cells or not? Why? Because the moment I click on this, it should not show like that. But as you can see, there is a cell in 8 and 9 which has been merged, right? And it makes me, it doesn't help me in that fashion. So like if I go with this kind of approach, it gives me like, already there are 2 rows in it. As you can see, I have only the 8th row data. So I'll just filter it out again. So you can see 8 and 9 has been merged, right, with the help of this particular cell. Now, suppose if I want to filter on Toyota data and want to see all the Toyota data, right? Like you have suppose, so we will take these 2 rows as 2 count, okay, not 1. Then you have this, okay. You have 5 counts of data of Toyota, correct? And we'll try to filter out, okay, what are the different datas are there. But I can see that out of this 5 rows of data, one data has been hidden it out, like the 9th row is gone. How to change that? And it's only showing the 8th row data, not the 9th one. So in these kind of scenarios, whenever you see any kind of merge cell or something, before you perform any analysis on the data, what do? You go and also the moment you have selected this particular cell, on the top of this home tab itself, you can see there's a button called as merge and center. What this particular option does is basically it merges 2 of the rows like that. It's a very different aspect which we do not require right now in here. So if I just click on it, You see, it has reduced back to eighth row, right? Eighth row and the B column part, correct? And now suppose I have to again, make it as Toyota because I want eighth row and ninth row also to be visible. So it has come like that. So now in total, I have 6 rows of data actually. And now if I filter on Toyota data, you can see there are no blanks. Click on Toyota and it gives you 6 rows of data. Very small aspect of it, but impacts are really big. Because suppose in your whole data set, right, 100 rows are there, and all of a sudden, some of the rows you have some merge cell kind of a thing, right? And you just filter out the data and you just told that, okay, you have this much of sales. That is wrong. You're giving incorrect report to your leadership. So be very, very cautious about these aspects that whenever you see these kind of things, like suppose this is like, again, I'm clicking on that merge part. See, keeps the option what it comes is merge cell only keeps the upper left value and discards the other values. So if you click like this, it's actually on the eighth row, but ninth and 10th row are gone. Now, if I talk about what are the total data set, now it's only 4. Let's see how many Toyota datas we will find. Only 4. Just imagine 2 rows are already been hidden just because of that small thing like merge and center option. So mind is very, very important that you might think that okay, this is there is no data set or something. When you are working, right, you have a deadline to meet or something, you urgently do that. So never think that these rows are gone. These are actually very much important for the leadership. Okay, so always try to see any kind of merge cells or something like that is there. Try to unmerge them. Okay, try to unmerge them and try to follow it up like this. Okay, fill it up like Toyota, like this, what I have done currently. And then when you apply the filter, it gives you the full aspect of the data. You click on Toyota, it gives you the all cells, whatever Toyota is having, like 6 rows of data instead of 4. Right now, you can talk about okay, this is the total cost and this is your sales, like that. Right?
Sir, I have one doubt. Like,
Yes.
how we get to know this is Toyota only? Like, might be it's Audi.
Yeah. That's a good question. So suppose if the data has come to you like this, suppose. So there is an intuition already you can play that okay, these 3 cells are of Toyota only. Okay, there's a high possibility in that. Right. So what the people like the operations people and all, as per their feasibility, they will try to do stuff like that. Like they will okay, this is Honda's data, so let's merge like this. And suppose you have another multiple rows like this is Ford's car data, you merge like that. This is the data what they are maintaining as per their understanding. But when you, being a data analyst or any kind of person who wants to do some sort of analysis on this particular data, right? How will you understand that? Because the moment you are filtering out, suppose Ford, right? Okay, Ford, you have 3 here, 4 and 5th are merged. Now, if I just click on Ford, see that the data is been hidden like that. So filter will be not able to understand okay what has went wrong with sorry I filtered Honda, right? Sorry. So if I filter on Ford, see it just gives me one row car data, and then other row will be all totally filtered out. So that is the problem you have to rectify. You have to understand. You have to see the data properly, filter on all the details. Suppose you have all these details like this, correct? You unmerge the data set. As I just told you, just because they have merged the data cells like this, okay, then you can get an understanding, or you can communicate with the operations team that okay, are these the same Toyota rows like you have given me? If they say yes, do like that. It's not up to you that you will do it. You can again get a cross check with the finance people or the operations team like that. So you just check it with them, do this fill up. Now you cross check. Okay, does this data make sense? You cross check with the team. Okay, this is the actual sales data. these are the actual counts of Toyota, like that. So this is a very basic dummy set what I'm using currently, but understand these are the steps you need to do when you are working with the data of some hundreds or thousand rows like that. Okay, when you have multiple columns and you have to understand, okay, what is the business problem, how will I do it? But before that, the data cleaning aspect is the most important part you have to do on an everyday basis if you are publishing any reports. So any thoughts till now, guys? Any questions, guys? Anyone? Raj, Sharan, Vikas, Rajdeep. Anyone, guys? Okay. So moving on with the third part. So like all titles and notes and footnotes should be sticking to the data, right? I mean, it has to be properly arranged. So till now, what we have done, we have removed all the number of rows and columns which are empty, right? Which makes no sense, right? We have removed those things, correct? And then we have unmerged those cells. What we are currently looking at, right? Suppose they have made it merged as per their convenience, but you being an analyst or you want to publish a report, you have to do all these things on a daily basis. If there is a blank in the dates, you have to cross check with the team. You have to ask them that, is there a blank in this data? Is there a null value? Suppose there is a null value, don't blindly go with that. You have to check, there should be, because the data is there. Suppose database has missed to capture the data, you have to cross check with the team, guys. Yeah. So like that, we have covered till second part. Now we'll move into the third part. As I just discussed, all the titles and everything should be properly arranged. So as you can see that the data has been shifted towards very extreme right? So what do? You just, try to check that what is the problem with this data. So suppose you are making the header of this thing and it is very much to the right, correct? Now here, if you apply this merge and center of the feature of the in the ribbon part in the alignment section, now this particular feature will help you to make a header out of this particular data. Mind you, till this time we were working on the record. We have not applied the merge and all these things in the main data. We have just applied it on the header part for just making it look little decent. I have applied the merge and cells like that, because at this particular level we are not applying any filters of it, because the filter, as you can just see, that if I just unfilter this thing and apply the filter again, it applies a filter on these columns. Why? Because these columns actually make sense to my report, not this particular thing. It is just for a representation purpose. I have made like car sales data like that. Right. So again, another aspect on the bottom part, as you can see, which is a very important part also. So like total has been made before, the data, which suppose the total is in the middle of the whole data set. It makes no sense of, making the total over here. Suppose for their own reference, they have made a total of this many dates. Now after that, they have just added it for record keeping purpose. But you being an analyst, what will you do? Does it help you keeping the total over here? I don't think so. What will you do? What will you do is basically you remove out these rows, as you know that you have to do a total of it. You either you remove it or make a total over here and try to do a sum of it. Now, like making a sum is very easy. Like, in your keyboard, as you can see, there's an equal to button in your keyboard. Just press it. The moment you press it, all the functions in Excel becomes active. Okay. So suppose you want to do sum of it. So if you just press sum, press tab, it gives you the numbers to add up, right? So you can see all the ranges. As you can see, all these ranges you have manually just taken the reference of it. So mind you, in Excel, you can do you can do these options.
Kunal, you can mute others. Vikas Pandey, Amit Purswani, you can mute them.
Okay.
Thank you.
हाँ विशाल, लास्ट सैटरडे आपको कॉल किया था यार।
You can mute all. Amit, can you go on mute, please? Kunal, आप mute all कर सकते हो. There's an option of
Yes.
mute all.
Sure.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, please go ahead.
Okay. So guys, what I did just now is basically in the middle of the whole data set, you have a total, right? And it was making no sense all of a sudden. Like why the total has been given in the middle of the data, where you have another two rows of data in the bottom of it. So what I just did, I added the data with the whole data set, right? And now if you can understand that the whole data is in intact right now. There are no pending data set below, correct? And nothing, there is no merge cell, no blanks, nothing. Now it is a very clean data, guys. And only then, this time only, you can apply any kind of functions or perform any kind of functions on it. So now if I want to understand what is my total sales, right? So there are two ways of writing this sale. You have to do sum of the sales, right? So either there is a shortcut called as auto sum. So how you do that? So in your keyboard, if you can see, there is an alt button and equal to button. Just beside your backspace, there is an equal to button. So when you simultaneously press alt and equal to button simultaneously, there is an auto sum function gets triggered in Excel. And it has directly taken the ranges. Why? Because as you have seen, I am currently below the whole column of the D column, below the sales data, right? And the moment I pressed alt enter, it has actually taken the range from D3 till D21. It has not taken like D2 or D1, something like that, because there's an intelligence works behind it. The moment you press equal to, and suppose you press S, see, Excel tries to highlight you all the relevant functions inside it with the keyword of S. And out of that, any keyword which you think will make sense currently, you will try to narrow it down. So after S, you have to write. So the moment you type U, you can see the third option has been highlighted. So if you just select, come over here, like with the help of your keyboard, up and down arrow, you just come to sum and press tab from your keyboard. It gets activated, right? And so I just showed you how you can automatically do auto sum. Now I'm showing you how manually you can select the range and you can press enter, or before entering, first close the bracket, press enter, and it will give you the sum of the column, right? So just now we learned two ways of writing the formula, and you can with the help of formula thing, you can understand how we have just done the whole sum of the data. Okay, sum of D3 to D21, right? One is auto sum and another is manually writing the sum function, searching the function, like getting the sum function from the IntelliSense, and then taking the range and then adding it up, right? Great. So we have understood, okay, what is basically a data cleaning activity looks like on a daily basis for any person, right? Okay, now we'll slowly move towards our next part of data cleaning activity, which is part 2. Okay, guys, till now, whatever I have taught, any confusion, anywhere you feel you did not understood or something, anywhere, guys, anyone?
No, sir.
Anything?
Everything
No,
is
right?
clear.
All clear, right? Makes sense, right? Okay. Awesome.
Yes.
Okay. Now moving on to this next part, which is the data clean part. And here we'll try to do some approach. What kind of approach like we'll try to do. Okay. So here again, as you can see, this is again data set which is basically a car sales data. And just now, Shivi has highlighted, okay, sir, like if you think that, okay, these are merged cells, do you really think that this is actually Ford's data, or it might be Audi's data also? But I just told that, okay, you can either cross-check with the respective teams regarding that, or you can get an understanding, okay, if suppose they have made these two cells merged as Ford for their, understanding, hopefully that this particular data is of Ford itself. All right. And probably you can do a cross check with the team, or you can do it by yourself. Now, the challenge, what you as a person, as an analyst, or who wants to prepare a report will come is, suppose currently you are looking at a 30 rows data set, right? And you can see that on the right hand side the datas are clean, but the datas are arranged in this fashion. I mean, Ford is like this, GM and Hondas are like this, like Honda here, then some 3 rows blank, then Mazda, then Subaru, and all these things. Then Toyota again, some rows, 4 5 rows are merged and then blank, right? Now, you being a person who wants to make a report, suppose this is 30 rows, you have hundreds of rows. How will you do that? The challenge comes in those areas. It's not that every time you will have only 30 rows of data. You will have hundreds or thousands or 1 lakh of rows. How will you maintain those kind of scenarios when you will face these kind of problems? That point of time, suppose you have to select all these data set first, suppose. Okay, just previously what I showed, first you unmerge all these data, right? You click on it, your data is done. You have unmerged the whole data set. Now you can see all the data has been shifted back to the first row where it was mentioned previously. Okay, and all the previous rows are all blank. Now is the chance to do another way of working, which is called, filling of the blanks, right? And how will you do that? So suppose here you have selected the whole range. Suppose there are 30 rows, and whatever till the last length of the data, you have selected the range. And you already know, you have already got the feedback, okay? All the blank ones below the first initial of that data is basically that first row data itself. I mean, if it is Ford, the below one will be Ford itself. If it is Honda, until 14th row, it will be Honda itself. You have got the understanding. How will you do that? So to do these kind of scenarios, first you have to go with an approach called as go to special, right? And mind you, like guys, whenever you try to understand, okay, this is the function where I need to figure out what is the problem. So basically, after selecting the whole data, you are facing, there are a lot of blanks. That is your problem. Okay, just because I know this particular step, I'm just taking you through this particular scenario, that just because you have selected the whole range and you can see all the below blanks are there. Suppose there are 100 rows, you cannot just go like this and just start filling up the data like that. It will take ages, right? I mean, if you have a deadline to meet, it will not be possible. What is the fastest way to do that? Correct. So in order to do this kind of problems faster, first you select the whole range, and you already know that all these blanks have to be filled up. Now, what is the shortest one? On the home tab under this ribbon part, if you scroll to the right, just beside the sort and filter option, you might find there's a find and select option, right? And the fourth option is go to special. Inside the go to special, there is option called as blanks. The moment you click on the blanks and click on OK, you just see that all the ranges after all the ranges, like I have selected from Audi to the last, but only the blank parts are being selected, right, guys? So this particular feature has helped me to highlight only the blank part of this particular data in this particular column precisely. Now what will I do? I already know that this particular cell is having Ford, right? Done. What I have done is basically selected that cell, and I'm trying to fill it up on the data which is just present on the top, which is Ford. I have done it for only the first row, this first row of 4, and I wanted to get it implicated on the other cells. Now what will I do? In your keyboard, if you press Control and Enter, you can just see all the blank rows have been filled up by the exact data, which is what is present on the top of that exact cell. So this is a very handy and useful way which you can think of at the time you have to fill up this column with some blank data, right? You can see these, yeah.
Can you please do one more time?
Sure. Absolutely. Okay. So, okay. One easy shortcut, guys. In your keyboard, anytime if you want to undo what the step what I have just done, press Control Z. You can get back to that original situation what you have previously been. And also, as you can see on the top part, you can see these are some handy icons. You can see this also tracks the whole data. I mean the moves what you have done. So basically, if you click on this redo merge, right, it will again get back to the stages what I have just done. Correct. And if I click on this undo button, it will undo all the steps what I have done. So in your keyboard shortcut Control Z, or on the top just beside the header of this particular sheet, you can find these redo and undo arrows over here, right? So 2 ways you can get back to the previous stage. Okay, so as per Shebi said, like she wants to understand how we have done it again. So again, doing that, selecting all the blank, all the whole column range first. Will do that because suppose as I just mentioned, hundreds rows, you have to do a faster way of doing the method, right? So first you select the whole column. After that, what is the problem? I have to unmerge the data first of all. Lot of merging has been done. I have to unmerge. On the home tab under the alignment section, unmerge it. Your data has been merged. Now each and every cell has been broken down. Correct? Each and every cell has been broken down. Now, what is my next big problem?
What key you have used for unmerge, please?
Sorry.
What is the key you have used for unmerge?
Okay. So basically, suppose it's the same button. It's the same button as well. So suppose Honda has been merged for these many cells. Like you have 6 cells. You have count of 6 cells which has been merged for Honda. You go to this particular button, merge, click on it, it unmerges.
Oh,
Okay.
oh, same merge will do unmerge as well.
Exactly. So you just select the whole range. If you want to do merge, it will merge. You click on unmerge, you again click on that merge thing and it will unmerge. And there are 2-3 ways of merging also, Azhar. We'll get back to this thing on a later stage. But currently, just understand it's a very simple aspect of alignment thing, and where if you merge it, it becomes very difficult for any person to do any kind of analysis on it. Correct. So for a person to do any sort of analysis, first you clean up the data like this, keep the rows all blanks, right? And then you start doing your operations on it one by one. Fine, Azhar?
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay. So moving on. So as I was going through the aspect again, as Shebi requested. Okay. So I have selected the whole column, right? Under the home tab to the extreme right, I have an option just beside sort and filter, which is find and replace. And here the 4th option, which can help me to fill these blanks, is the blank option. Now I click on blank, click on OK. Now all my blanks are being highlighted. Correct? Now, what's the best way of doing it? As I just mentioned, in your keyboard, just beside backspace, press equal to, select that previous cell which is already there, and simultaneously in your keyboard, press Control and Enter button, which is the shortcut, and done. All your data is being populated from top to bottom. That's why I have mentioned the sheet name as data clean top-down approach, where I am just with the approach of top-down approach, I'm just filling up my data set of all the blank cells. I'm just filling it up with the help of this particular small feature of Excel, right? Now I can easily apply a filter. Okay, shortcut for filter, Control Shift L, right? Or another way of doing it, just keep your mouse on the header part, go to sort and filter, click on it, filter has been applied. Simple. Two ways of doing it. Again, I'm telling Control Shift All, filter has been removed. Again, I'm doing Control Shift All, Control Shift L, and your filter is being applied again, right? And now if you click on this thing, you can see all the data is properly being arranged. No blanks, nothing. Click on any data set, Honda or anything, it will give you the complete details of Honda. Now no merge cell, nothing is there, right? Done. So this is one of the other way of working with the data, right? If you have multiple issues like that, first clean the data up. If you have to fill the data, just like I mentioned, top-down approach, do it like that. Go to find and replace. Go to special, select the blank, press equal to, just do the top-down approach of that previous cell, and you're done. Okay, moving on to the third sheet where we have to do some data cleaning activities on a finance data, right? So suppose there is a transaction details of a bank called as ABC, and I'm looking at a transactional data or whatever we call it, right? So again, the same issue, right? You have so much of unmerged and all these details, and you can't do any operations on it. You have to, you have to think like what is going on with this particular data, right? So same thing, and also there is another issue where merge as well as the wrap text has been done. What is wrap text basically? So as you can see, the data is being, totally, shrinked, and, it's looking very odd kind of thing. What we need to do? There is option, as you can see over here, called as wrap text. What is it? If you just click on it, see, now the data is already been unwrapped. It's actually, the length is not getting adjusted. So basically what this cell function does is basically it tries to merge the whole data, enlarge the whole breadth of that particular cell and try to showcase that this is the actual details in this particular cell. But as per my understanding, I don't want this. I don't want this at this moment. I'll just click on it and your data looks very clean, right? Now again, the same issue. You have wrap text as well as merge. Why I need this? I'll just unwrap it, unmerge it, and the same thing. You either do a Control D, right, or you go with the same approach. Find and select. Go to special blanks. Sorry. Select the whole range. Go to special blanks. Done. Same thing over here. It's already merged and unmerged. You do the same activity again. Go to blanks, click on OK. Take the dataset on the above. You're done. Right? And with this, you can understand that there are some blank rows on the top also. If you remove it and you just select the whole data and try to arrange it as per your understanding. So there is a shortcut which we can apply to enlarge the whole details. Now, as you can see, that the whole data set is very shortened up, right? Because the transactional details is a very long word over here. If I just double click on it, so just see, if I just reduce it like that for me to just see what it looks like, the data has been hidden. Now I just click on this particular column, it gets enlarged. Same thing for all this data. Shall I be doing each and every column? No, why will I do that? So you know how to select, I'll just show you how to select the whole details. So just in your keyboard, press shift, with your right hand arrow, just try to select the whole data. Come down, okay, one by one. If you don't want to come down one by one step, press Control and Shift simultaneously and press down arrow. It directly jumps to the last cell. Whichever may be the last cell, it will directly come down, right? Same thing over here. Control down, it will just come down to the last cell. Why Control Shift? It tries to select the whole range one by one. It will try to select the whole range when it jumps down to like suppose it is A2 cell and you have to come down to the last cell, but you have to select all the cells from A2 till A24. What will you do? Control Shift down arrow. See, it has selected the whole range of A2 to A24. If I only press Control down, it will just jump from A2 to A24. That's one. Same thing, I want to go to H column till H column, but selecting the whole range. Control Shift right arrow. Sorry. Control Shift right arrow. It has jumped to the right side, right extreme of the column. Right. And I just want to, there's a shortcut which helps me to enlarge the whole details as per the column. So it is Alt H I O. Sorry. Okay. Alt H O I. Okay. And with this, and I have just elaborated the whole details like this, and you can see that all the details are being arranged as per the column length. I mean, whichever is the maximum length of the details, as you can see, it has been enlarged accordingly, and you can see the whole details properly right now. Correct. So these are some of the basic things which you need to do in order to prepare reports or to clean and make the data look beautiful, right? These are some of the things which everybody has to do. Otherwise, the data will be in a very in totally shambles, and if you want to send it to someone, that person will be totally disgusted with the look and feel of the data. So it's your responsibility. If you are making some reports or any kind of inference out of the data, make it look presentable, right? You just select the whole details like this, apply some borders. Okay, on the home tab, as you can see in the font section, and inside the font section, borders. Inside the borders, you have so many different varieties of it. If you want to apply a thick border around it, you apply the thick border. If you want to only do all borders, means the thickness will be very small, but applying it all over it, apply it like that. You just okay. Now this particular thing, like you see, the transaction data is actually on the A1 cell. It's not present the whole thing. I just want to make it up, merge till cell A1 to H1. Click on merge, done. The whole cell has been merged. Now it looks really presentable. You can send it to anybody and he will understand, okay, this data is like this, withdrawal amount this, deposit amounts like that, sum, and all these things have been done here, so like that. Okay. So we are done with the data cleaning of a finance data. Now we'll move in a very small aspect of some currency and numbers and dates on a daily basis. Suppose you will get these kind of details, right? I mean, the currency, there will be some numbers where you have to see the numbers like this, and they are saying, what is this? I mean, is this a number or this is a currency, right? So we'll go one by one like that. So now suppose this is a date, right? And already there is a dedicated format in your company. I mean, they are going with the format called as DDMMYYY, right? Or suppose triple MYY. But is your data like that? Your data is DD, double M, and then YY, right? So you have to change it according to your company standards. How will you do that? Select the whole range of the data. Under the home tab, you have a number section, as you can see. On the top of it, as you can see, there is a drop down, correct? What this is basically a formatting section where you can change the formats of the data set what is present in over here. Okay, and with this you can see there are a lot of different aspects: general, numbers, currency, and everything, right? Short date, long date, and everything. But I specifically want double D, triple M, and four Ys. How will I find that? It's not here. I can't see this. Now there is another section called as mode number formats. You click on it, then you can see that there are different sections have been come up in front of format cells. Under this, you can come to a custom section, because already in date section, if you just see, you will not be able to find out the thing. It's March, I want MAR, but instead of that, it's March full and everything, like Wednesday, 14 March and everything. All the details are there. I don't want this much. I want a very specific one which talks about DD, triple M, and YY. Or for that matter, if you just increase YY, it will give you like that. So mind you, what I just did, I came down to custom section. I highlighted my own format, which is double D dash triple M dash YY. It was double Y. But what I just did, under the sample section, as you can see, it's like this. And in the type section, I can manipulate this format. You just go over there, add two more Ys. Just see the sample. It has changed according to my wish. Now press OK and you're done. Very simple aspect of Excel. I mean, you just need to understand what are the different ways you can play around with the data, and the features are everywhere and you can do accordingly. And these are everyday stuffs, guys. Every day you have to do these small things. These are very small things, but actually plays a long way when you prepare this data, send it to your stakeholders or senior management people. These are very small things, but it actually plays a very big role, right? So this is done. Now again with the date section, it's all very different way. It's a long form of data. Again, I want to change it. I want to make it a short one. I don't want to look at such a big way. I have changed it to shorter one. And mind you, this particular format, what you are currently looking at, okay, by default, it will come exactly what your current location data is there in your system. Whatever format you are currently looking at is currently coming from your system data. Yeah, guys, anyone like any doubts? Anything?
No doubt.
Okay. Awesome. Okay. So yeah, so as I was telling, so by default, always remember that in Excel, it tries to take the format of your system data. It tries to capture your local format, what you are in your system, what has been already been there, and tries to do that. Now, if you want to change it, there is a way. Okay, in the top part beside home tab, you can see there's a file section. Now you have to come down to the options section and you have to change from the advanced section, and it's a very different way of doing it, but you can change it accordingly like that. So currently we will not explore those areas right now. We'll only stick to these things. Later on, when there's a requirement, we would obviously explore those areas, because sometimes what happens, there are certain areas where format matters actually, like currencies and all these things. We'll try to explore those areas in the later lectures. Now moving on with the next part, which is percentages. Now currently you're looking at the percentage looking like this, and you have to show it in a percentage way. You will find it out in the home tab under the number section. You can directly see there's a percentage sign. Click on it and you can see all the numbers have been converted like that. Even if suppose it is like that, it will again be like this. Now if I want to make it as a number, that is a different aspect of it. But suppose the operation has been done and I want to show it like percentage. You click on it under the home tab, number section. Either you go with this approach or directly click on it, it will just change it like that. Okay. Same thing for currency. Highlight the cells. As you already know, this is a currency section. I have to do the currency. I have to convert it into currency part. Home tab under the number section. There's a small drop down over here. Talks about accounting number format. Click on it. English, which is in Indian format. As you can see, rupee sign already been there. Dollar sign, pound, euro, whatever format you require, it's already there. You click on it, it will come like that. Or by default, suppose if you just directly click on it, it will give you the Indian format. Why? Because it's already been on the topmost format. So suppose if you click on it, it will come like that. Either you want to change it from any different format. If you want to change it into dollars, it will change into dollar. You want to change it into pound. So anything works, right? Now there is another aspect which you can see currently is that it has converted to decimals. I don't want to see the decimal part. I want to reduce it. Same thing, home tab under the number section, reduce your number. So there is a decrease and there is an increase of decimal part. Simple, decrease them two steps because you have two decimal places, reduced it, and your currency is ready. Right? Same part. On the other part is the number part. Now you can see the whole data is looking like this. It's basically a number aspect which you have to show that okay, these are numbers, but why it is aligned like that? Mind you, in Excel, when you type any text, it always aligns on the left hand side, and when you type any numbers, it always aligns on the right hand side. So this is a very key difference which you can understand, that whenever the alignment, this is a by default alignment, guys. Even if you can see the alignment section under home tab, alignment section, you can see I can do anything, any changes, but it will not get changed. Okay, it will not get changed because by default it is a textual data which has come up here, and it will not change. I mean, it's a number, but it is somehow the format has been done as text. That is why you have to understand whenever the data will be on a left hand side alignment, by default understand it's a textual representation, because this kind of analysis will help you on a later part when you write some formulas or something. You will understand the output. When the output is coming, is it on the left hand side alignment or on the right hand side? If the data you're expecting is a number format and it is on the left hand side, remember the output of that particular formula is giving you a text kind of an output, which is wrong because you are expecting a number output. So think in those lines. Okay, so right now the scenario is we are dealing with is the numbers. The section is number, but it's on the left hand side. Some or the other problem is there, and the alignment is on the left hand side. What we will do? So on the top, on the ribbon sections, you can see there are a lot of tabs here: home, insert, and formulas and data and all these things, right? What we'll do? We'll try to go with the data tab. Okay. So inside the data tab, you have a text to column feature. Under the data tools section, we will explore all these features, guys. Okay, I'm just showing you for a brief understanding how we can deal and what are the features already existing in Excel which you can utilize. So inside the data tab, as you can see, there is a text to column feature. Click on it. It opens up convert text to column wizard. So this is a very handy feature. Suppose you have multiple columns there, and will you start doing like like cell by cell? No, right? You click the whole data like that. So sorry, you just click on the whole column, go to text to column under the data section. You go to this particular feature, convert text to columns thing. Choose the field, keep it like delimited. Go to next. Uncheck the tabs. You don't want different tabs or something. It's in the same column you want it. Go to next. Mind you, nothing is checked. Okay. Go to the next thing. Don't check like general. Keep it general only, and you just keep it like dates only. I mean, simple. Whatever is there, you keep it like that. You finish it like that, and your numbers will come. Because over there you have just kept it like general. No dates, nothing. You just converted, if a data is in a text format, you have just converted into a number format, simple. And by doing so, if you click on the column, you are implementing the whole logic on a bigger data set, mind you guys. Okay. So like, it's not like one cell, you go over there, you do like that. Click on the column, you do it, done. The whole data has been arranged. Very small issue, but implications are very big. Just now I told you, whenever you see these kind of problems, there are high chances that your output is giving you something. So you have to think that what is my data which is getting set. Suppose you have done an operation on this particular data, and this is already in a text format. What operations you will apply? You can't apply anything, right? Because the input is in a text, and you are expecting an output of number. So you have to think in those lines that what is the input and what is my output. In the long run, you will understand, what is, I'm trying to say. But when we'll write some formulas and all these things, so this is good, right? And also, I'll just show you, when we were working on this particular thing, you can see there is already a green colored triangular aspect has been come up. You can see this is already highlighting that number stored as text. This is already giving you an error, guys. That, guys, this is a problem which is already there. Excel is already highlighted you. See, any cell you come, this kind of icon will pop up. Okay. See what the error talk about. The number in this cell is formatted as text or preceded by an apostrophe. So basically, this number has been converted into a text by adding some apostrophe or something like that. That is why the problem arises. Now you want to change, like you want to do it like convert to number. Individually you want to do, or you can do it like this also you can do, or you come up with the logic. Okay, the whole column is having this problem. Go to data tab, go to the text to column, change it in a bulk, and you're done. Right? Guys, any questions till now? Anywhere you're feeling like it's too much or going above your head or something, guys? I mean, any
Can we
feedbacks,
just
guys?
do one column at a time? Or these
Sorry?
numbers conversion? Is it like one column at a time, these number
No, you can do
conversions?
that. You can, but you have to understand what is the next column you're working on. As simple as that. You can, if you're working on this particular column, you do it like this, and the other column you do it in a different. If it is a date one, go with the date approach. I mean, if you see that there is a dates format is already been there, go to text to column next. Keep everything unchecked. Now there is a tab called as DMY, right? And already there are some columns where month and then date has been repeated, correct? So suppose you want to change it to like this is already in day and month, you want to change it to month in days, month, day and year format, so it will change accordingly. Or you want to change it to DMY, it will change it to that fashion. So stuff like that, it will work like that, right? So this is the way we can choose. You can take the options and utilize accordingly. Okay. So moving on to the next part. We have a table, okay, and you have to do some formatting on it, right? Okay. So the table looks like this on the left hand side, and there is an image of how it should look on the right hand side, right? Same thing. I mean, as you can see, the data is given to you in months, which is in not in the system format currently, but in a DD dot month dot then year format. Now you have to change it, right? You have to change either in this fashion, from this one to this fashion, or any format you like. I mean, as just now we have discussed the format. Go to the home tab, under the number section, drop down, come to the format section. You have a custom format, or from the date format also, if it works for you, no problem with that. But if you have to change it in this particular format, like month and then year, right? Triple M dash YY, then you have to come to the custom section, and under the custom section, you can see this is triple M dash YY. You after in the custom section, you select on this one. As you can see, it will try to give you a format accordingly, and you can just change it as per your wishes. But mind you guys, always the formats, whatever you change it, it will try to give you that particular aspect which you require. Okay, you change it accordingly. Then you have this particular section also where talks about gold, right? The gold section where 424 dot 4 decimal places are being given. Now you have to change it to the currency, Indian currency. Same thing, you try to change it into this fashion. You have double digits, you try to keep it like that. Same thing, it's in 3 decimal places, you reduce it to 2 decimal places, like that. Same thing, right? You reduce it like that. Now the aspect of it, suppose there is a border, right? There is a border of it. So under the home tab, font section, all the borders, inside the border section, I'll go to all borders. Try to put a border on it, and we are done. Right? Oh, sorry. I think I missed this. Sorry. Custom section. Okay, did not change. Okay, sorry. So if I change it in this fashion, see. So as you just saw that, okay, when I was trying to change the data normally with the help of format, it did not help me. Why? Because there will be sometimes some sort of data inaccuracies over here based on some formatting issues, where it will be giving you a lot of issues, like you cannot change it directly with the help of directly going to the format. Then you have to come up with this particular aspect of data section, come to the text to column section, and you have to go ahead with this particular approach and come to the column date format, select on it, select on the date section. Either if you want a month, date, and year, you go with that, or you go with the date, month, and year section. The moment you do with that, the incorrect format which is already been existing in this particular column will be removed, and your requested format you can now implement. Previously, when I tried to do the implementation, it did not help me. But the moment I cleaned up some sort of incorrect issue in this particular column, now I was able to perform the customization on that particular column. Okay, guys, any questions? Any doubts? Anyone? Okay. Okay, so I will move ahead. Okay, so now the next section will come down to is filtering. Okay. Okay, so the next part will be how we can apply a filter on a bigger data set, right? Now already we have this particular data, as you have seen previously, that this data we have already worked. Now, as you can see, the data is totally clean. Okay, there is no issues in the data. Every row is having the details, right? One moment. Sorry. So the details are already here. Okay, and I want to understand what is the summarization. I mean, whenever I'm looking at these details, it's row by row data, and I have to scroll to the end of the data, right, to understand what is what. But there is a way we can apply a summarization method. Now, what is that called? It is called as pivots. How will you understand? Okay, how will you do that pivot of data? So to do a pivot on a particular details on a data, you first select on the on the whole detail. So what I just did, from the fifth row, I tried to with the help of the navigation, I went from A5 to E5, right? E5 row. Now Control Shift down arrow, I selected the whole data, right? Now after this, what will I do? Beside the Home tab, there is an Insert section, and inside the Insert section, there is an option called as Pivot Table. To click on it, and you can see that pivot table from table or range is already been highlighted over here, right? And all the data is, as you can see, there is a marker going on the edges of this particular details, correct? You click on it and you're done. You have a pivot table already been placed over here. So this is a basic font, like the place where you have to pull up the details now. So now the pivot table section has already been created over here, right? And how you can check that? So on the top of the ribbon section, you can see extreme to the Home tab's extreme right, you can see Pivot Table Analyze and Design section have been activated. Previously, it was not there. When before you apply a pivot on a particular data, before that will not be there. Okay, the moment you have applied the pivot and everything has been done, you can see the Pivot Table Analyze section has come up, then your Design section has come up, because it helps you to design this particular data and everything. So now under the Pivot Table Analyze, there is a section called as Data. Click on the Change Data Source, and you can see Change Data Source. You can see that, okay, it has applied the whole details on it. You can see the range also, guys, right? And if you want to manipulate this data, you can click on it in your keyboard, press F2, and then you can delete or change the column, or change any column number like E to F or G or something. You can change it, or you can change the row numbers also. Press OK, and your data will be like this. Press refresh, and your data is being refreshed. Right now we haven't done anything. It is a basic section it is showing of pivot table. Now what we'll do, we'll try to understand what the pivot table can help us to do with our whole data. So what we will do, just a moment. Okay, so we will try to put some of the details of this particular data. Okay, we'll try to put car information. Okay, let's see how that looks. So car section is there. So mind you guys, on the right hand side of this particular section, your data will present on the top, this part, and these are some 4 sections of the layout of this particular data of the pivot table. I mean, with the help of this particular 4 sections, you can play around with the visualization of the data. Whatever you want to visualize, you can do it. How? So suppose I want to put the car type section on the rows part. See, all the car types have been put in the rows part. I want to put the sales, which is basically a number column, right? And if I want to put it in the column section, will it help me? No, right? I mean, just look at the data. I mean, it has stretched like anything. Does it make sense? No. What we'll do, we'll try to put the sales where? In the value section. Why? This value section automatically, whatever you try to put over there, it try to apply some sort of a mathematical operation on it, like sum or count or average or whatever you decide over here. So there's a drop down, guys. You click on it, you change any settings of it. Like if you want to select on count, okay, in the value setting of it, if you select on count, it will give you count. Again you click on it, change the value setting, come back to sum, it will give you sum. So mind you have to understand what is what column. I mean, this column is basically a numerical column, so you put it in a numerical function section. Same way, you want to see the cogs also, you put the cogs here, it will give you the sum of it, right? And now on the part like values, so sorry, so you put the sales over here in the values section, And now you want to see what's the like customer city the sales has happened. Now obviously you can see that rows already filled, values already filled. Where should I put it? Is it in the column section? Let's see if I put it like that. If I put it like that, the data, as you can see, it has again become so huge. Makes no sense to me, or it doesn't help my purpose. I want to have a summarized view. Instead of mindlessly scrolling to the bottom of the data, I want to have a very summarized view of this whole data set. What will I do with it? So there is understanding, okay, what is what column you have to understand. Okay, so this is customer city. So if I change it like this, so I have put the customer city section in the rows part, and the card types, which is like 5, 6 sections, I put it in the column section. Now, just understand, was I able to narrow the whole view in a very short format? Like, was I able to summarize the whole data? So you have to understand what is what column and where, if you put the whole details, will look like, what kind of output it will give you. Sorry, guys. So sorry, guys. Okay, so as I was explaining that, okay, so this is how the data is looking like currently. So from the filtered data, like the data was such huge data, and I was, struggling to understand, okay, how it has, what is what, and I have to filter all these things. Instead of that, in one short place, I have all the details over here, right? And with this, I can understand, okay, what is happening with my data set, correct? And with this, I can take an assumption. Okay, in city one, Toyota, out of 34 lakhs of sales happened, Toyota has the bigger chunk of it. The next will be Honda, right? And then you have Ford. Then you have Ford, then Subaru. Same ways, if you want to just highlight like any random, you uncheck and select on any city, it will give you the details. So understand the arrangement of the data has just helped me to reduce this whole details in a very short viewing section. And with this, I was able to make any kind of actionable insights. I mean, if you share this data to anyone who is not aware of pivot tables, or anybody you want to have a discussion with this particular section, you can understand, okay, what is happening with the city 2, what is happening with city 3. And you can take, okay, suppose like you select the whole details, and you understand, okay, how about what on which year what has happened, I want to see. So there is a section called as sorry, there's a section called as insert timeline, right? And with the help of under the pivot table analyze section, there under the filter section, you have insert slicer, you have insert timeline, correct? So with the timeline, what I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to insert a date kind of a section in the data. What is date basically? It's already been present, right? In the filter section, the date is already been present. Now I want to apply a very simple timeline filter, and which can help me to understand, okay, on which year, which month, what is the sales has happened. How I was trying to achieve, going to the pivot table analyze, going to the insert timeline section, clicking on the date and clicking on OK, and it gives me a dates format. Now with this, as you can see, there is year, quarter, month, and days, and everything is there. I want to see years. So I just click on 2019, sorry. 2010 or any kind of quarters I want to see. With sorry. With this, I will be able to analyze this whole section like that, right? So with this, I will be able to channelize my whole details with the help of kind of filters what I will apply, and with this I will be able to filter out whatever requirement I have, right? Same thing, you want to put this date over here in the filter section. Click on this filter. Sorry, date is here. You click on this aspect of it, and inside that drop down, you can see that there is select multiple item section over here. Now you want to select manually what has happened, which year, what has happened. So click like that, whichever date you want to see. Click on filter, and it will give you like that. Okay, so from here you can understand, okay, multiple dates you have filtered on, and with this you are able to narrow it down. Okay, these many dates, based on that particular date you have this data, Hondas and total sales and grand totals are all over here, right? Guys, any questions, any doubts?
I have Kunal. Like
Yeah, sure.
for car type, we have like 5 or 6 column, right?
Yeah.
Right now. But if it's a multiple like 10 or 20, then CT as well as car type both will be on the like same quantity. Then how
Yeah,
we will
so okay. So you want to put the car types also here, right? Like below, like in the rows section, right? Like this you want to see? Is it
Oh no, I mean to say that like we have 5, so we put in the one row, and like we are look we can see easily in previous pivot. Oh, that first one.
like
If
this
we
you're talking about?
Yeah. When we have 5, we can put, right. When we have 20, then it will
Yes, that
go.
time you have to understand, okay, how you will narrow it down. So suppose, see, there is nothing called as missing out on the data, Sailesh. Okay. So suppose you have 20, you have to put 20. But what you can do is you can put some filters on this particular data. I mean, what you can do, you can put a card type filter over here, and you can tell them, okay, see, 20 cars are already there, right? Out of
Mhm.
20 cars, you select on Honda, Subaru, or suppose 10 types you filter on, select on it, your cities has come. Your filter is already there. So what you just did, you took the card type from the column section, you put it in the filter section, and with the helping of the filter section, like select multiple items, you have just selected 2, 3 of them and done. Your city wise sales has come up, right? So whenever you're selecting the whole data, mind you, always select the whole data, and then as per your understanding. So these 4 sections are having 4 different understanding. What you want to showcase in the rows, right? What you want to showcase in the columns. Values you already understood. It is a numerical column. So over here already the aspect where which gives us an understanding of sales, counts, averages, the numerical kind of columns has to be put away. You can't put any textual column. So as you can understand, city or car type, these are all textual details which you can understand, which you have to put it in the column or rows or section. And filters, generally, if you try to put any dates or something like that, which can actually narrow it down, because as you can see, dates are numerous. I mean, year wise you can see it is here, but dates are very long thing. So now from the dates you want to just highlight, suppose 2008 details, okay, and you want to click on the details. So as you can see, only 2008 details have been highlighted, right? And all the other years, 9, then 10 and 2024 are being neglected out. Now, with the help of these 2 filters, you can talk to your stakeholders that, hey, from city 1 till city 23, as per the date of in the year 2008, with car types Honda, Subaru, and Toyota, we have done this much of sales, like that. Okay. Hope I was able to answer your question, Sailesh.
Yeah, got it.
Okay. Thank you. Guys, anyone, any doubts, any questions till now? Am I, is the session is making you understand the topics clearly? Anywhere you think that it's going above your head or something, please highlight. Like if I'm going little fast or something like that, guys.
Hello, Kunal. Amit here.
Yeah, tell me.
Just one thing, Kunal. Say, suppose if we apply a filter on a table, I guess the shortcut was Control Shift L.
Yeah.
And then if we filter for a particular value,
Hmm.
then is there any? Yeah, this is a good example.
Yes.
I want to ask you when you can for example from car type, if you filter for any one of the types, just for example take any type.
Okay.
Now I want to know that is there any shortcut to just remove that particular filter, but not the filter from the entire row number 5 itself? Because what have been actually struggling is actually I got into a habit of using Alt DFF to apply the filter. Okay.
Oh, okay.
So now what happens is when I use that RTFF to apply filter, then I work on some data. There will be many back and forth. I will be say now I worked on Ford, then maybe Chevy, Subaru, whatever. Then when I want to just remove that filter, I don't know any other shortcut apart from RTFF. But what that will do is not only remove the filter from that type, but it will also remove it from the header row itself.
Oh, okay, understood. I mean, you are talking about like whenever you want to change it like this, you want to change it to some other column.
Either to some or at least remove all the filtered values so that I can get the complete data, but not removing the filter function that I have applied at the top row.
Okay. Got it. So there are two ways of doing it. I mean, if you can see, your filter already is applied on Ford, correct?
Yeah.
Now you go to this sort and filter function. Simple.
Yeah.
There is a middle part called as clear.
Correct. Yeah.
Clear it, your filter is still there.
Right. Yeah.
Your filter is already been applied. What it has done, it has went back to the original state. It has unfiltered any different. I mean, you just apply like
I got it.
Huh?
I got it.
Okay.
Just
Simple.
that, I was wondering if there might be a shortcut to do it.
Okay. So yeah, I'm just coming to that shortcut. So one way of looking at is from the option, right? From the filter section.
Got
Another will be, so as you can see, I'm hovering with the help of my arrow keys. Okay, in your keyboard, up and down arrow key.
Yeah.
Now the shortcut will be Alt down arrow.
Okay.
When you press Alt down arrow, your drop down has come up.
Mm-hmm.
Now you, with the help of down arrow, you're coming to the text filter section.
Right.
Over here, if you have to enter this particular search section and inside the section, you have to press tab. The moment you press tab, it jumps and gets inside the select section. You can obviously go to the search bar also. So next tab, it takes you to select all and select with the help of space bar. Mind you, Amit, with the help of space bar, you can select all your data like this, or you can uncheck like this. So suppose select all is there, you selected one time a space bar, check all the data has been unchecked. Now go to the Ford section or Mazda section, press enter, done. Again, you want to uncheck the filter, Alt down arrow, one step you come back, text filter, press tab, again press tab, unfilter Mazda, keep Ford, press enter. Hope I was able to answer your question.
Yeah. Got it. Yeah. So the trick was to, when we are present at the header row, if I press Alt down, then it will let me.
Exactly.
Got it. Yeah. Then we can easily control it with arrow keys and the space bar. Yeah. Got it.
Down arrow, right? And then with the help of down arrow, you can do that, right? And then wherever the filter section will come, you have to press tab and tab.
Got it. Yeah.
Got it. You press like whenever you come like sorry. Okay. Hope I was able to answer the question.
Yes.
Okay. Thanks, Amit. Guys, anybody else? Any questions? Anyone? Okay, so I believe there is no doubts you have. Okay, so moving on. Okay, the another section what I wanted to discuss is basically in the filter section. When you have applied the filter, right, you still have so much to do with the help of filter, the feature. What are the things you can do? So as I just mentioned, like, alt plus down arrow, then space bar, then you can utilize with this kind of feature, like, all down and then space bar, you uncheck and select the data. You can check filter out the details. Now another aspect, like, I want to see what is the top 10 or above average or below average data on this particular whole data set. Quickly, after applying the filter, as you already know, click on this particular details. There are some features which you can do. So before filtering, before going to this section, I can show you that there is a sorting section you can do. With the help of sort, you can do small to largest, or you can do largest to small, right? Or you can sort by color. Suppose there are some sections which you have colored, right? Which you have colored like that. What will you do? You have to sort. How will you sort it? So under the sort by color section, you can go with only yellow color. It will sort the yellow first and then the fields after that, right? So you can also go to the custom sort also. Multiple, so you can do multiple sorts of like in the sorting section, you can do multiple sorting, like the column wise, you can apply multiple sort based on the color also, right? So as you can see, there's a sales card type. You want to go with the cell color. Okay, what is the cell color? It asks you for the cell color. You can apply that. You want to, and then after applying the cell color, what is the top to on top or bottom part? As according to that, it will start arranging the data. So you can apply all these details. You want to delete it, you can delete one by one, right? And that's how we can arrange the sort sections also. Okay, and then I was going to that filter by color. So you want to filter by color, right? Why? Okay, before that, if I remove this color, if I just no fill, make it as no fill. Okay, mind you, in the font section under the home tab, in the drop down, you can find so many colored sections over here. You want to go to more color sections. This is the more color section where you can manually select anything and it comes. You want to go with a custom part also, that also is fine. Okay, so click on the drop down, select any standard color. Suppose you want to color it like these many cells, you want to color it. You have colored it. Suppose you just highlighted this data. Now you want to only filter out this data. Go to the filter section, go to the filter by color, select on the color, done. It only highlights whatever colored section you have done. You want to highlight the non-colored section. Go to the no fill section, filter it, it gives you the no fill section, right? Same ways, you want to just filter out everything, like clear the filter. Click on that, filters are cleared, done. Now, as I was talking about the numbered filters, now just because this is a numbered column, you have a different approach to this particular filter. What are those? You can apply top 10, top or below average or something like that. What are these features basically? So suppose I want to apply like a filter which tells me what is the data set, filter me the data which is between 10,000 and 50,000. So 10,000, mind you, the filter is getting applied is greater than or equal to, and the AND operator is being applied with is lesser than or equal to, right? So you apply 50,000, done. Now this data set is in the range of 10 to 50. You scroll to the bottom of it, you will find 10 to 50 within 10 feet. Or okay, if you just want to narrow it down a little bit more, like 30 to 50,000. Now it is 30 to 50,000. Okay, so you can play around with this function, with this number filters on the data set, which is on the data column. Suppose a data set which is having numerical data, and with this you can play around as much as you want. Now you want to see top 10. You want to see, okay, I'll unfilter everything, sort, no fill. Okay, Okay. And you want to apply the filters, right? Filters on top 10 products you want to see. What is us asking? Top 10 items, right? You want to see the items basically. Filter on it. It gives you the top 10 data set based on the whole data set. It just gave you the top 10 details based on the whole data set. What are the top 10 values of the whole data set? And as you can see on the left hand side, these are based on all the financial numbers. Based on that, it has given you top 10. Now, suppose you want to see the above average. Same thing, you click on the above average. So suppose there is an average. So, okay, there is a function I'll just write. You already know that pressing equal to activates the function part of Excel. Now, with the help of intelligence, I will try to use average function of it. So I just wrote AV with the second option I'm selecting average, press tab, average function gets activated. What is my range? So basically average is asking number 1, 2, 3 like that. So I have to give him some range so that he can understand that on based on what range I have to do the average. So I'm using my arrow key. I'm trying to select the range. How I will select it? So Control Shift down arrow till the last of this particular data. You can see the data has already been selected, right? And I will close the bracket and enter. Okay. So I understood. Okay, 26,014. Okay, 26,014 is the average value. Based on this particular number, I will be getting an above average or below average data. Correct? Now, if I just select, if I select above average, so data has to be above 26, right? Click on it. Try to see what are the details over here. Hopefully there will not be anything which is 26 below 2614. So you can see it is starting from 26017, which is above 26014. From above 26014, the data has been arranged and given it to you. Now if I want to see below the average, below this average, starting from 2014.68, it is giving me the below numbers. See, 0.04, 0.82, and like that. It has started decreasing. Right? So with this particular approach also, you can understand, okay, what is my average data and what is the above and below. And with this also, you can take a understanding, okay, what is the deviation of my data? I mean, the whole data set, how it is being divided, right? You can take an understanding, or for better understanding, you filter out this data, you take this data set, okay, copied it, okay, how I copied this data, shift button, right arrow to the extreme right, control shift down arrow, selected the whole range. Now there's a shortcut for copying, guys. Control C, copied it. Now I want to take it to another sheet inside this workbook, another sub sheet. So there's a plus sign, guys, click on it, another fresh sheet has come up. I want to paste it over here. Right click, right? And you have to paste it. There is an option under cut, copy, and below paste option. The second option, values. Click on it. The data has been pasted over here. And mind you guys, it's only values. No formatting, nothing. No formatting. Over here you have the color headings have been formatted and everything. It's totally unformatted data. And always remember, whenever you're copying details from one sheet to another sheet, try to go with this particular feature. Paste as values. Don't go with just directly copying the data like this. Why? Because this is another thing which I have faced during my work, that the moment you're copying these details from one sheet to another sheet, you are actually copying the format and everything what this particular sheet is carrying currently. So suppose this is a customer's data, you just want to migrate these particular details into your sheet. Always do, whenever you're pasting the data, go with the value. So there are two ways of it. You like go with the copying the data. After that, that copy is already being activated. So you can do it with the help of options also. Inside the home tab, under the clipboard section, you can see the paste action is activated. Mind you, if in the filter section, see, now I have escape. By pressing the escape button, the copy section is being stopped. As well as in the clipboard section, the paste action is also stopped. It's failed now. The moment I again select the whole range and press Control C, the shortcut, see, this has been activated. And inside it, if I click on the drop down, under the second part, paste values, you have a second part like values and numbers, or you can go with the values itself. Okay, so under the paste values, go is the first option. Go to the new sheet, or wherever you want to paste it, go to the new sheet, click on it, paste values, click on values. Done. Your data has been pasted over here only as values, no format, nothing. And why I did like this, because I tell you, the moment you're pasting the data like this, Excel will not have to do extra work on its on processing your data, right? Because the moment you're doing all these extra like you're copy pasting all these formats and everything, Excel have to perform additional work on this particular details. Okay, so it has to keep a database of this format and everything. So mind you, always try to copy and paste as values whenever necessary. It makes Excel very light. On the data aspect, it keeps the data set very light. Engine doesn't have to do much of a performance on it, and it's really heavy. It's easy for Excel to work on it. Okay, and always remember that just because you have forgotten, you have just pasted as values, all the formats have been removed. So just try to check on the formats, like this is date. So suppose like if you want to click on this date section and you have to change it to short or long date, you can do like that, and accordingly it will work like that. So short date like
Kunal, sorry to interrupt. Yeah,
no, yeah, no, yeah.
just one thing, like, okay. Guys, so do you think like 2 hours will be sufficient or 1.5 hour? Because this is like the first demo class that Kunal has taken. And we have planned earlier like it will be of 2 hour session. But what is your thought? You want to keep it for 2 hours or 1.5 hours down the line?
1.5.
1.5 will be sufficient, no? Okay. Anyone else?
So two is also fine.
Chat 2 is also
As
fine. Okay.
yes.
Or कोई? Anyone else?
So just I have one doubt. Like today is a demo class, so
Yeah.
we are covering so many topics. But
Mhm.
from today, from tomorrow, what we are going to do? Like from the basic.
From basic only, yeah, because Sanket was supposed to take this batch, but because of his some personal commitments, okay, so means he will continue from the month of August. So that's why we cannot wait. So that's why we have requested Kunal, and I told Kunal to take the demo class today, so that you guys can plan as per your convenience. If it looks good, then we'll continue with him. Okay, so that's the plan actually. So from tomorrow onwards, yeah, obviously, like it will be from the scratch, from the basics only. And it's a responsibility of the audience as well. Like if you think that the pace is fast or slow, or you have to ask questions, so make the session interactive. Ask question and share feedback, suggestions as well. Okay, so that the trainer can plan it accordingly, right? He can modulate the pace. Okay, so fine then, Kunal, we can stop here for today.
Sure,
And
sure.
we can continue from tomorrow. Okay. So the participants, I think they are there in that target group. Okay. And we'll share the recording, guys. So do you have any question, anyone?
No, sir.
Hmm.
Actually, I have when Sanket is there in as a tutor, he told that he will cover the macro like VBA code and all that. Will same thing will be here also, or some change in means like
Yes, yes, yes. I
That will
can
be
also
covered,
do
Kunal?
yeah, that can be also covered. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So we will make sure that whatever like syllabus has been shared with you earlier, all those things will be covered. I have shared that with Kunal. Okay, so Kunal, you can also go through that. Okay, but
Sure.
guys, like all those things will be covered, whatever is there in the syllabus. Okay, any other question? Okay, fine. I know like most of you have already enrolled for the course, okay, but still I can see few new participants. So if they're interested, they can connect with us. We'll add you in the group. It's a weekend batch, Saturday and Sunday. It will be 11 to 12:30 only we'll keep. Like 2 hours for Excel will be a little bit hectic, I think. So maybe we can keep it just 1.5 hours. Okay.
Sure.
Okay, done. Sure, fine. So we'll share the recording, guys. Thanks a lot for your time. We'll connect tomorrow. Thanks a lot, Kunal. I will get back to you. Okay. Thank you.
Sure.
Bye.
Thank you, everyone. Thank
Thank
you
you,
for your
sir.
time.
Thank you. Bye.
thank